Hey guys, what is up? This is Seaball Yusuf here, kicking off my brand new Quick Start Guide series where I will be giving a quick rundown and analysis of all the different types of weapons that are available in Black Ops 2. Today we will be covering the 6 SMGs that are available in Black Ops 2, so without further ado, let's hop right on in. First up, we've got the MP7, and this gun is unlocked at level 4 along with Created Class, and since it is the default SMG in the game, it does not require an unlock token to be able to use it. What to expect when using the MP7? It's got a high rate of fire at 900 rounds per minute, medium low recoil, and it is very easy to use as it is kind of a jack of all trades type weapon. Its biggest strength is its 40 round magazine, its fast reload, and its versatility. However, its versatility also is its biggest weakness, as its lack of specialization within the SMG class means that you're going to be beaten in close range by stuff like the Vector, and the Scorpion, and at long range you'll be beat by the MSMC and the PDW. Stupid phone. Next up, we got the PDW 57, and just like the MP7, this gun is unlocked at level 4. However, it does require an unlock token for use, as it is not the default SMG. What to expect when using the PDW? It's got mild recoil, and it needs to be reloaded a lot less often than any other SMG in the game, as it does have the biggest non-LMG magazine at 50 rounds without extended clip, which is freaking amazing. Its biggest strength is this 50 round magazine, as that cannot be understated how helpful that is, and it makes it a really good gun for just spraying people down. Its biggest weakness is its low fire rate, but high damage gives the other SMGs an advantage at close range. So this gun's good at longer ranges for SMGs, but it's not going to be the best SMG up close. This is a great gun for those who like spamming the trigger with an SMG and not having to worry about reloading. Next up, we got the Vector K10, and this gun is unlocked at level 12. What to expect while using the Vector? With its middle of the pack rate of fire and its damage for the SMGs, you will never be the best at anything, but its versatility also means that you rarely will be severely outmatched anywhere within its range. And this versatility is indeed its biggest strength, as again, you will never really be super outmatched while using the Vector. Its biggest weakness is, again, its versatility, because just like the MP7, it's never going to be the best at anything, but again, you're not really ever going to be super outmatched. Statistically, pretty much the same as the MP7, but for some reason, to me, this gun does feel better than the MP7, so if you like the MP7, definitely try this baby out. It's a very good gun. Next up, we got the MSMC, and this one is unlocked at level 28. What to expect while using the MSMC? This is one of the easiest SMGs to use in the game, in my opinion, because it has low recoil and high damage. Its biggest strength is it has the longest range of all the SMGs, and its low recoil paired with the high damage makes it the best SMG in the game for longer ranges. Its biggest weakness, however, is its slow fire rate, and small magazine will mean you're going to get outmatched by the other SMGs up close. And it's good for anyone looking to have a bridge between the assault rifles and the submachine guns, but it's not going to be the best at closer ranges. Next up, we got the Chickum CQB. This gun is unlocked at level 37, and what you should expect while using the Chickum is you're probably going to struggle a little bit at first, because this gun is a burst fire SMG, which we have never before seen in the Call of Duty franchise, so it's pretty cool that it is that, and that Treyarch's bringing new things into the game. But again, if you're not used to having a burst fire, especially on an SMG, that can be a tricky little thing to get used to. However, once you get used to it, it's pretty dang good. Its biggest strength is there is no burst delay, so if you time your trigger pull right, you can maintain a pretty much fully automatic rate of fire while using this gun. And its biggest weakness is that because it is a burst fire, it is very skilled based gun. So if you're good with it, it's great. If you're not good with it, you're gonna screw up horribly with this gun. And it's definitely worth giving a shot to see if it can work for you, because if it does, you will definitely not be disappointed, as there are very few guns in the game better than this one if you know how to use it. And last but not least, we've got the Scorpion Evo, and this one is unlocked at level 46. What to expect while using it? This gun has the fastest fire rate in the game at a staggering 1200 rounds per minute, and this gun is just going to tear through people up close. Its biggest strength is the speedy rate of fire, and that means that nothing but shotguns are going to beat you up close. So you're going to be destroying all other SMGs, all other assault rifles, anything other than the KSG, Saiga, and the Remington are going to die to you up close. Its biggest weakness is that the high rate of fire gives the gun the highest recoil out of all the SMGs in the game, and it very quickly depletes the already small 32 round magazine, making this gun very reliant on either extended mags, or extended clips, excuse me, or fast mags. And this gun is great in the hands of anyone who can figure out how to tame the beast, but not so great if you can't figure out how to tame it. And perks that are very good with the SMGs in Tier 1, other than Blinda, I think all the perks in Tier 1 are pretty dang good. Lightweight is very helpful if you're trying to make a speedy class, which the SMGs already have the fastest movement speed in the game, tied with the pistols and shotguns. And Hardline is very helpful if you're trying to get up to the bigger score streaks, or if you're just finding that you're having trouble getting to your score streaks in general, whether that be a UAV or the higher stuff. Flak Jacket is very good for those who are going to be playing the objective a lot in stuff like hardpoint, domination, headquarters, as well as countering the rampant use of bouncing buddies that we've seen so far in this game. Ghost is also probably my favorite perk in Tier 1 along with Flak Jacket, because with all the UAV spam that we're seeing in this game, it is so nice to be able to stay off the mini-maps. However, a quick little reminder for those of you who forget, Ghost will only keep you off the radar if you're constantly moving, so you can't just go sit in a corner with Ghost in this game and be expecting to stay off the radar, which I think is great, because then only people who are actually flanking and rushing will get the benefits of Ghost. Tier 2 perks. There are 3 that I mainly stick to, with one that is far and above my favorite in the class. Toughness is nice, however I find it a lot more useful on assault rifles and other longer range weapons. Fast Hands is a great perk if you're trying to build a class entirely around speed, or if you're using stuff like the shock charges or C4, which take a little bit longer to throw. I don't like using it on the concussions because I'm not used to how quickly it throws out, so I almost always throw it into the ground or throw it into a wall right next to me, and it just ends up screwing me over. Scavenger is the one that I really use a lot, and I love it for SMGs because I like spraying people down with the SMG, so I quickly run out of ammo. Not to mention that I like being able to throw in stuns and grenades every time I'm going to enter a room, just to make sure there's no camper sitting around the corner, so it's nice to be able to resupply all of that. In Tier 3, I use everything but the 2 sound whoring perks, because, I mean, let's be honest, in this game, sound whoring isn't really that big of a feature that you're going to be doing a whole lot. Dexterity is probably my favorite, and it's great for those who want to stay as mobile as possible. That helps you not only climb things faster, but after sprinting, you pull out your gun faster, and this is a great a great perk for those who like to run and gun and are sprinting a lot. Extreme Conditioning is probably my least favorite out of the 4 that I do use. It's nice because you get it doubles your sprint time, but it is kind of sucky that it doesn't give you unlimited sprint. It's good with stuff like CTF if you're going to be a runner, but other than that, I don't really use extreme conditioning too much. Engineer, I really love this perk. I usually either use a combination of flak jacket and tactical mask to keep me safe from Betties and shock charges, or engineer because engineer is nice. I like being able to see the Betties so I can avoid them if I'm not using flak jacket, as well as avoiding shock charges if I'm not using tactical mask. And also, it's very nice to be able to be warned of sentry guns or guardians before you walk around the corner into them. Next up, we've got Tactical Mask, and this is a great perk for rushers, as you won't have to worry about hitting shock charges, because if you do, they do absolutely nothing to you, and it's also nice if people are trying to spam you with stuns or flashes or EMPs, as it greatly reduces the effects that these tactical grenades have on you. And next up, let's hit the attachments that are available for the SMGs. The good attachments for SMGs are the suppressor. This one is my favorite. I use this almost all the time I'm using SMGs in this game. They're really helpful because I like staying off the minimap every time I shoot, because it'll help you build up your score streaks faster. And to me, it just seems like in this game, people are a lot closer to you at all times. So if you are showing up on the minimap at all times whenever you're shooting, it kind of gets you killed a lot more. So I like using the suppressor. And my second favorite attachment is the laser sight. This one tightens your hipfire spread, so it's pretty much like steady aim from previous CODs. And as anyone who's ever used an SMG knows, SMGs are great at hip firing, so it's nice to have this thing which pretty much makes them a laser beam, hip firing anywhere up close. Next up, we got the foregrip, and I think this attachment is almost essential on the Scorpion. I use it every single time I'm using the Scorpion, but it's also very nice on some of the other SMGs. It'll make them it'll give them very low recoil, which will make them a bit of a laser gun at longer ranges. And the last of the good attachments for SMGs, in my opinion, is fast mags and extended clip. These two are both very good if you're finding yourself dying a lot while reloading, or for those who are constantly playing up in the enemy's face. It's very nice to not have to worry about reloading as often, or when you do, having every other reload be a lot faster. And again, this attachment is kind of dependent on the weapon that you're using, because I don't really use it on stuff like the MP7 or the Vector, the PDW, but it's very helpful on the MSMC and the Scorpion. And then the attachments that are not bad but not the most useful, we got the Reflex EOTech Target Finder and Millimeter Scanner. And these ones, I guess, kind of depends on personal preference. I personally like all the iron sights on the SMGs. The Chickum is the only one that I think has not very good iron sights, but even then I still usually just skip a sight because I think other attachments are better. The long barrel is not bad for creating an SMG assault rifle hybrid, especially on the MSMC, which already has the best range out of all the SMGs. However, I just think it's overmatched by some of the other attachments that are available for SMGs. Quick draw. Now this is a very good attachment for most guns, including the SMGs. However, I just find that laser sight is a lot more helpful for me because I can just hip fire them for the first couple bullets and then look down sights, and I find that a lot more useful, and laser sight for me is a lot more versatile with my playstyle. And the last of the average attachments is the adjustable stock. And again, just like quick draw, this is a very good attachment. However, I just feel that I like hip firing a lot better than the ADSing while using the SMG, so again, I prefer to use laser sight over this one. Now the bad attachments for SMGs that you should probably stay away from. Select fire. I don't like turning the fully automatics, especially with the SMGs where you should be doing all of your engagements up close. I don't like turning any of those into a 3-round burst gun, and the only one that I consider is the Chickum, but since you get a huge decrease in your rate of fire using the Chickum, I don't like using select fire on the Chickum or any of the other guns. Rapid fire. Now this is very helpful if you're going to be in extremely close quarters. However, for those of you who do not know, rapid fire very much so hampers your range on the guns, decreasing it by like 60%, I think. It's something like that. It's a huge decrease though. And the last of the bad attachments for the SMGs is FMJ. And since the SMGs generally aren't going to be made for shooting through walls, I don't really think this is that helpful of an attachment. However, if you like shooting people through wall, trying to wall bang them, go right ahead and use this attachment. I guess it kind of all comes down to personal preference. Well guys, that's it for the SMGs. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a thing or two, hopefully too. And let me know down below in the comment sections if you have any feedback for me or suggestions for future episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and peace out.